Coach, thank you very much for your time. How are you doing today?
Very good, thanks. And how are you?
Well, so you are very good.
Yeah, definitely.
A very tough game. You won 2-1. What were your overall thoughts on your performance today?
Oh, the performance was great. The boys played beautiful football, shifting from right to the left. The opponents were a bit tough, but overall Galaxy performed very well, and they were able to maintain the game from the beginning to the end.
At times I remember I was standing there next to you and you were saying you are doing everything right, but you are just not putting the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah.
Were you getting frustrated at the time, thinking with all the good work that you are doing, and the opponent is not, you are not able to penetrate? Were you thinking, oh, it's one of those where you play all the good football but can't score?
Yeah, I think that's the thing with my team. You know, it has always played beautiful football because they were able to maintain the game. You know, we were 1-0 down first half, and then we had to come back. And I said to them, gents, you definitely playing good football. You know, you are playing well. You are able to rotate the ball. You are keeping position. So clearly, we're doing everything right. You know, the only thing that we need to do is to have aggression when we have to attack, you know, and we need to have aggression when we have to attack, and let's take it serious. You know, the last half of attack was a bit slow there when the boys get there, but I said if we get that right, we're going to do well. And the opponents were parking the bus basically. You know, they were just dropping off and they were just giving us the flanks, and I said let's use the flanks, let's move them up and down. They are going to sleep at the end of the day. We're going to get that hole and then we're going to score. So the boys listened and they did that very well, you know, and I was very impressed to see that they were well down, but they didn't look down. You know, they headed up and they were playing because we're both challenging for the league. So we had to make sure that we win the game today, no matter what, and it favored us today.
Coach, when you speak about doing things right, what was the system that you deployed today and your tactical approach to this game that allowed you to control the game to a point where you were able to get the maximum points?
Yeah. So what I play 4-3-3. That's the system that I play, and the preparation is that I know that Highlands Park they normally don't build up, so we had to drop deep because even if you want to press them, they'll kick the ball towards you and then there'll be a lot of gaps in between. So what I've decided to do is to not press them. When they kick the ball long, we are going to challenge and win the second ball. We're going to play in the second ball. And doing things right is meaning in that system, it allows us to have a lot of overloads, you know, whether right or left or going forward. And balances at the back for us not to be able to consider a lot of goals playing forward at the back. So that gives our wingers to be able to have a up and down movement. So what we normally did is to say, let's move them, because we know that they're going to most of the teams that we play with, they don't want to press us, so they want to stay deep. So what we'll do is to play the ball, attract them to come forward, and then we play behind them. So those are the things that we practice to make sure that we get that right in terms of movement of the ball, switch state from the right to left, rotate the ball rotation. So when I talk about ball rotation, I mean when we're playing, when the ball was on the left, we move it to the right. When it was on the right, we move it to the left to shift the opponents in order for us to get the spaces behind them, because they're definitely going to be shifting. So those are the tactics I've applied, and the boys were doing it just fine. It's just that we're not taking chances. Our chances seriously. We had a lot of 1v1s. We're creating a lot of 1v1s because when you shift them, they shift in numbers. When they shift in numbers, we're always going to have a left winger or a right winger that is going to be staying up far. We play to that player, they are going to shift, we bring it straight to the middle, and then we create our chances. So that's how we normally play.
Coach, very, very technical. This is under 17 you are coaching.
Yeah.
And we know some of these boys, not all of them grew up in development ranks where they are used to these systems, this terminology.
Yeah.
How do you as a coach now make sure that this technical knowledge and this jargon that is used within technical teams is applicable to them, they understand it and they are able to execute it?
Most of the time players in development are taught technical work, which is in South Africa we're gifted in terms of technical work. But tactically players are not gifted, are not coached. So that makes them, when they go up to play in the higher ranks, they are not able to be coachable. They've got a talent, but they're not coachable because they're not taught tactics and they're not taught the system, which is the system. When we create a system, we create a system for the players. So the players that I have can easily fit in the system because the system was created by them. You know, whatever I play, it's created by the individuals that are there. But necessarily the tactics and the systems are not important. It's the development of the player to be able to develop under the system. So individual improvement, that's what we always talk about, to say if you can improve individually, then we can be able to apply a lot of systems around so that the player, when he moves to the higher ranks, is able to be coachable. Because you can have players that are technically good but tactically poor, you know. So we have to make sure that we balance both. So we don't seclude, they say we do this, we put everything together, but our fundamental principles, it's individual development and improvement. And then the system, it's addressed by the players. You can't do a system if the players can't play it. So that system it's actually groomed by the players that you have. So it's not something that you copy and paste. It's something that you allow the players to develop over time.
Coach, I watched your under 13s, a bit of under 15 or under 17. I'm now watching your under 19s, and there are similarities in the approach, building from the back, trying to combine passes and progress to the final third.
Yeah.
Is this something that comes within the development structures, or is something that comes from the top-down approach to say, TS Galaxy, this is how we want to play?
Definitely. TS Galaxy is a professional club, and we perfect little things that people don't actually pay attention to. We believe in players' development. Therefore, the system has to come from down going up. Come from up going down. So normally that's what we do. It's players improvement, and Galaxy has to play beautiful football that has progression. So as a technical team under the leadership of our leader, Mr. Ashley Makanya, he will always talk about players development and playing beautiful football. That's the most important thing. The basics, passing the ball, moving to the space, that's the most important thing.
Coach, thank you very much for your time and all the best going forward.
Thank you, sir.